starting your historical background under polity. So we have there a few company rules which come from time to time, like first Regulating Act 1773, then Pitt Act, then Chartered Act 1, Chartered Act in the 1813, then 1833, then Chartered Act of 1853, then Crown Rule comes into the picture after first War of Independence, then Indian Councils Act come into the picture, the Indian Councils Act of 1892, the Indian Councils Act of 1909, Modelamento and Simon Commission. So many acts come into the picture, so we read it one by one. So first, if we consider that Regulating Act of 1773, here first, why it comes into the picture? Because it comes to regulate the East India Company. So it comes to regulate the East India Company. Central administration, Governor of Bengal becomes the Governor General of Bengal. And this thing, first law was Warren Hastings. So first Lord was Warren Hastings. Warren Hastings was the first who became the Governor General of Bengal. Then it has an executive council which contains 4 members. Then they have established Supreme Court in Calcutta. And then private trade and right that has runs and code of directors report to the British government on revenue, military and civil affairs. So if we talk about Pitt's India Act, so in Pitt's India Act, they distinguish commercial and political functions. That commercial are different and political functions are different. So BOC, Board of Control, that they contain political, civil, military and revenue affairs. COE, that means commercial affairs. And then system of dual government that comes into the picture during Pitt's India Act. And then Indian territory called British Possession in India. So now they renamed it that British Possession in India. Now British government has supreme control over the company affairs. If you talk about Chartered Act 1813 comes into the picture, which enlightenment of Indians, like Christian missionaries have come. So Christian missionaries, like they promote Christianity, and 1 lakh for the improvement of education, government per year providing in this as per this act. Crown's sovereignty over British India, मतलब crown का राज होगा, and open to all tea and opium trade with China, and companies monopoly over Indian trade that finishes. Now Chartered Act of 1833 comes into the picture that says that Governor General of Bengal that become the Governor General of India. So first, जो बंगाल का होगा वो इंडिया का कंसीडर कर दिया जाएगा. फर्स्ट गवर्नर जनरल वॉज लॉर्ड बेंटिक. Then all civil and military affairs to Governor General of India. Now attempt to introduce open competition. First time they introduced open competition in 1833, and it is towards centralization. It inclined towards centralization in central legislature of India. Now they have ended activities of East India Company as a commercial body, and they have become the administrative body here. So if we consider the Chartered Act of 1853, after that comes into the picture that separated the legislative and executive functions. So they have 6 members like legislative councillors, open competition for recruitment of civil servants, Macaulay Committee that comes into the picture in the year of 1854. Now company rules they have extended here. First time local representation in India Legislative Council, 4 members by local government of Madras, Bombay, Bengal and Agra. Now Crown Rule comes into the picture. So for the good government of India, they call it good government of India. Crown Rule को उन्होंने good government बोला. They abolish East India Company, power transfer to British rule. Here we know that now Governor General of India, so Governor General of Bengal था, then हम उसको Governor General of India कहने लगे. Now we call it Viceroy of India. The first Viceroy was Lord Canning. He is the Canning. Now they abolish double government, like Board of Control and Code of Director has ended. Now the beginning of the parliamentary system, 15 members of Council of India they have created. Now Secretary of State. They have become member of British Cabinet, complete authority over Indian administration. Now, beginning of representative and law-making process, like Viceroy nominated some Indians as non-official members. 1962, Lord Canning nominates Raja of Banaras, Maharaja of Patiala for Gangadhar. Now, we are talking about the Indian Council Act of 1861. They have decentralized, restoring legislative power of Bombay and Madras. They have established new legislative council in Bengal, uh, national province of Punjab, and empowered Viceroy to make rules and orders for transactions of business council. They have recognition of the portfolio system that's been created by the Lord Canning in 1859, and they empowered the Viceroy to issue ordinance without concurrence of the Legislative Council process. Now we could talk about Indian Council Act of 1892. Here, new official members increase in central and provincial legislative councils. Now, functions of legislative council have been increased. The power of discussing budget and addressing questions to the executive. Now we have another, that is Indian Council Act. So we can call it MM. That is morally mental. तो इंडियन काउंसिल एक्ट जो 1900 का था, 1909 का पहला, although we consider it morally mental reform, is morally mental. So Central Legislative Council members increased from 16 to 60. They have increased. First time Association of Indians and Executive Council of Viceroys and Governors happened. Satyendra Prasad Sinha, they have considered as a law member. Communal representation and separate electorate, the facility has been provided. They have legalized communalism. Lord Minto, the father of communal electorate. Communal, you know that the community के according. Separate electorates like presidents, corporations, chambers of commerce, university, and Zamindari, they have a different work together. Now we have a different act that is called Montagu-Chelmsford reforms. So Montagu-Chelmsford reforms like objective introduction of responsible government of India. Now they separated the central and provincial subject. Structure centralized and unitary. Provincial subject that is transferred by governor and legislative council and resolved by the governor and executive council. The dual system of governance like diarchy has been introduced. Diarchy has been introduced in which government of India in 1990. So first time they have introduced bicameralism and direct election. Majority of both houses by direct election. Communal representation ended like with Indo-Christians, Anglo-Indians and Europeans. Franchise to a limited power number of people based on property, sex and education. Viceroy Executive Council like 3 to be Indians. 3 Indians in the Viceroy Executive Council. Public Service Commission has been created in 1926. That is a part of this act. Separate provincial and central budget has been created. Statutory commission to inquiry. Now new office to the High Commissioners for the India in London. Now we have a Simon Commission that has come into the picture in 1927. They have created 7 members. Sir John Simon was the head. So all members were British. So it is the first demerit, like all members are British and it is for Indian people. So no Indian is there in this commission. So report submitted in 1930. Recommendations like the diarchy to be ended, responsible government in province, establishment of Federation of British India and princely states, communal electorate should be continued. 3 roundtable conferences that have been conducted here. White paper on constitutional reforms has been created. Recommendations incorporated in Government of India Act 1935. Now we have a communal reward. Communal reward like August 30, 1932. Ramsay McDonald comes into the picture. Now scheme of representation of minorities. Separate electorate extended to depressed classes. Now agreement between Congress leaders and depressed classes like Pune Pact has been created in this time. And they have retained joint Hindu joint electorate, reserved seats for depressed classes. Now we have a Government of India Act, which we call mini constitution. The second milestone for complete responsible government in India. All federation consisting of provinces, princely states, list of federation, federal, provincial, and concurrent. The hierarchy ended in provinces and started in center. Provincial autonomy has been given by the government. Responsible government has been created in the provinces, bicameral in 6 out of 11 provinces like Bengal, Bombay, Bihar, Assam, UP, and Madras. So council has been abolished and Reserve Bank of India established during this time. Federal, provincial councils and joint service commission, the PCS, provincial and joint service commission established. Federal court has also set up in 1937. Now February May, what happened? Indian Independence Act. So 1947 में क्लाइमेट एक्ट ब्रिटिश रूल एंड हो गया जून 30 को सॉरी जून 30 1948 में मुस्लिम लीग ने क्या डिमांड किया पार्टीशन देन लॉर्ड माउंटेन बैटन ने पुट किया पार्टीशन का प्लान दे क्रिएटेड इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान विद राइट टू secede with a British Commonwealth. Now they have created a Constitution Assembly in 1946 and they become the Parliament of Indian denomination. This is all about this all laws. Okay, done. Thank you.